Don't hold me to these expectations.
This is an every game kind of thing now?
Yeah, right.
Let's have DJ go first.
Pablo, what did you think of the performance? Are you celebrating the win, lamenting chances that weren't finished? Did you see other stuff? You get to clean up after a 3-1 win. What'd you think?
Yeah, listen, it's obviously easy to nitpick when you get the 3 points. I would, and I think that's the most important thing is that, not having games in succession week to week, it's hard to build a rhythm. You're training, you're trying to provide, you're trying to create an environment where these guys compete the right way. But it can never mimic what flow is in getting games in succession. So I think there was maybe a lack of sharpness in the final third, but I think the most important thing is we really hit on being really aggressive in that final third and creating chances, and we were able to do that. And so and I think defensively for the most part, the guys, front to back, did a good job committing to the cause. And if we're going to be a good team in this league, we got to win both sides of the ball and in transition. And I think the guys did a good job of that. But again, I'm just really proud of the character of the guys in that locker room because it's not easy not having game in 2 weeks and still creating the amount of chances and again, this KC team's a very good team. Their last win was away to LA Galaxy. They got some really good players. They're well organized, and so I don't want to diminish that aspect of it. It's MLS. Anyone can win, and the guy stepped up today.
Obviously, Diego Luna and his World Cup hopes are a huge story. This was his first start, and then he scores in the 4th minute. What did you think that did as far as mindset for the rest of the game, and what did you think of the way he performed?
Yeah, no, I thought it was always going to be tough coming into starting your first game, especially with the weight of expectations. And I think not only for us here at the club, but also for the national team. And I don't think anyone, unless you've lived it, understand how heavy that is. And to be able to perform and score that goal, I think took a lot of pressure off of him. I think he was dogged in his work rate, dogged in his defending. I think he'd like to have a couple decisions back in the final third. But again, I think getting him in those areas, he's a difference maker as he showed tonight. And I think this I think it was 80 minutes that he played will do him really well as we prepare for a tough 3-game week. What is it? Probably 2 weeks from now. So again, we're in that same thing. And I again. The reason why I think character is really important is because you can always make excuses in life. We didn't play in 2 weeks, and we have one game, and then we don't play for 2 weeks. And you can use anything you want to make excuses. These guys put their head down, do the best they can. They work for each other. They're committed to each other, and they play some fantastic stuff. So we obviously have some things to work on, but I think that we're going to make the best of this next week in preparation for a big 3-game week.
You're big on players, especially young players. How you train is how you play. Mm-hmm. Does Gozo try that kind of stuff in training routinely? Was he trying to do that in the game, or maybe the first touch gets away from him a little and he just adjusts and does it? What?
No, there's not a shot that Gozo turns down in training. And sometimes I'm always saying, find the better pass. There's a pass to be made here. But that's the beauty of youth, is they don't care. They're not worried about what their teammates are going to say if they take a shot from 25 yards out from a very difficult angle. And Gozo, to be fair, has, again, credit to him, he's been working on his game, and I think it shows in these moments where it's almost instinctual now. He's not overthinking anything, and that's what young players don't do. They don't overthink anything. They just go. And Aiden's the same way, and Luka Moisa and the whole cast of the youngers that we have, they're doing a fantastic job. And again, I think the big part of that is having supportive, experienced players around them that are okay with them making those decisions. And in this case, it was the right decision for Gozo.
Leading up to this game, and now just in a post game, you've pointed out anything can happen with any MLS team, and it doesn't matter that Kansas City's in last place. So when it's 1-0 at the half and Slanza's hit the crossbar twice and had a chance and a breakaway to score, and he didn't. Was there any temptation to go to a veteran, an Olatunji, who can finish chances like that? Or because you had the lead, did you think, hey, the youthful guy's creating chances, he'll finish one. What was your thought process there?
Yeah, I don't really think about it like that. I think more of how it affects the individual if I were to make that decision. I don't think about things like black and white as far as team and winning this game. I'm always thinking long term. I'm always thinking what's best for this individual in this moment. And if you pull him out there, then when we put him back in, he's probably going to be half the player that he was, right? And so I think the hardest thing to do is get in positions to have those opportunities. That's the hardest thing to do. And his movement and his ability to see plays before they happen is what makes Serge a very, very good player. Finishing is obviously the toughest thing to do, and he's probably 6 inches away on a couple of those from netting a hat trick today. So again, I believe in all these guys, and especially with younger players, is you got to give them time, and they've shown in this short part of the season that they're all capable of making a difference.
What did you think of Spearings in his first start?
I thought Stein was exceptional today. I thought he was really good in possession, but what was really great for me to see was his ability to repress. The amount of balls that he won in transition was excellent. The way he occupies space as a defensive as a midfielder, negating passes but also intercepting passes. I thought again, and the expectation would be that an experienced player of his caliber makes really good decisions, and I'd say he probably had 40 decisions to make, and he probably made 39 great ones.
Hey, Pablo, congrats on the win. How did the midfield gel? I mean, we had Alex step in on the left side, and it didn't seem to affect much of the team chemistry. Everything seemed to be on the front foot.
Yeah, I think the way I coach and the way the coaches work is everyone gets reps during the week, and I think the expectation doesn't change because someone else is gone. The expectation is that the player that steps in completes the tasks that are asked, and I think Alex had a really good game today. And little things that we've been working on, is not just crossing the ball to cross the ball, but really making passes across the face of the goal. And the one that Serge hits off the bar was a really, really high-level pass from Alex Katranis to find Serge in that spot. So, again, I'm just really proud, and that's why I keep talking about team, because oftentimes as coaches we can say, well, we don't have this guy. What did you expect was going to happen? But I'll never make that statement, because I believe that as a staff we're intentional about making sure that everyone understands what their roles and responsibilities are. And the other part, too, is to allow the players to express their best selves. Everyone's going to make mistakes, but let's make mistakes trying to do the right thing for the team. And I think Alex and Stein are two guys that did an exceptional job tonight.
And then you didn't give up a lot of chances in the back, but there were 2 goals that went in, one called back for offside, of course, but any concerns back there?
Well, again, I think the goal that we conceded was, again, it was an individual decision. I think, again, oftentimes we get carried away about wanting to be a team that possesses the ball, and there's got to be this alarm system where the game state's really important. We're up a goal, or up 2 at this point, but we still want to play. We want to be professional in our decision making. We can't relax just because we have a 2-0 lead. We want to go to 3, but the most important thing now is preserving that shutout. And I think we just made a wrong decision on the back line that led to that goal. And credit to Jovic, he's a fantastic striker. That wasn't an easy finish, but he buried it. And I think that is a good reminder for us that we can't take our foot off the gas. We've got to be really diligent and focused in every moment, because every moment can change the game.
Pablo, congratulations. What do you take from a game like this where, by all expectations, this is the result that was expected for Real Salt Lake? Do you focus on what happened or maybe what you could have done better?
Well, a little bit of both, right? Because I think we can have certain expectations going into the game, and then the event, the game, asks you a bunch of different questions, right? So you don't punish them in the first half and you leave it a little bit open-ended going into the second half. I think they come out of the gates in the second half with a bit of belief that they can nick it. They've survived 7 or 8 chances on goal, and so now they're kind of growing into the game. And so But again, I think that's why we talk about managing games, and we've been, like I've said this earlier, you know, in preseason, it's been a really deliberate, intentional focal point for us is how do we manage games. You know, last year we didn't do a good job of that. This year we have a good blend of building from the back, like you saw in the I think it was the second goal was a fantastic build from the back goal where Rafa plays quick versus just slowing down so that they can set up so that we can play and within our structure. And I think you have to have a feel for this, and this is really important for us moving forward. When do we play fast? When do we slow it down? When do we go long? When do we go short? And so we'll continue to grow in this fashion. But I think I'm really pleased with the result. I'm really pleased with certain aspects of the performance. But again, I think our what we talk about from week to week is we want to be a better version of ourselves regardless of who we play the following week.
And lastly for me, the new players have come in. How's the integration going? It looks like you might have the RSL, the front office, everyone involved has done a great job in finding some great new players that seem to have talent that is kind of off the charts.
Yeah, no, I think the alignment, I think, again, I've been at many clubs, and I would say really in the last year and a half, 2 years, where ownership, front office, coaches, and players are all aligned is a rare thing. And I think when what I mean by that is, you know, our ownership prides themselves on bringing in what they call builders. We want to build something, right? And that's their vision. That's how they run all their companies. That they're builders. They want to build human beings along with professionals. And so I think an important aspect of that is bringing character people in here. And I think if you have an opportunity to speak to any of the new guys, you would say, wow, not only are they fantastic soccer players, but they're wonderful human beings. And so we have a bunch of builders in that locker room. And of course, myself, the rest of the staff, we continue to fine-tune our crafts to be builders as well. And so when you have that alignment and you bring in great players with quality character, you get the team that we have today.
Pablo, congrats on the win.
Thanks.
With bringing in so many great players and, like you mentioned, being builders of good players with good character as well, is there anyone that you would think deserves an extra shout out for being a builder of men?
You know, it's tough because I can all the new guys, they're all in, and when in training, you know, you hear, you know, Stein organizing the group and helping the younger guys. You hear Engel, Morgan, Sergi even. And so all these guys that have come in, they're almost like carbon copies of the type of character that you'd want in an ideal world. And they're you know, for example, let me just give you an example. The guy that scored the second goal, Sergi Solans, now 10 minutes later has a tackle on the sideline and gets up and celebrates a tackle. Here's a striker that's celebrating a tackle, right? This is crazy talk. You can watch a million games all over the world. You'll never see a striker celebrate a tackle on the sideline. But why is he celebrating? Because he cares about the team. He puts the team first. And I'd say with all the guys that we brought in, they put the team first. And even a guy like Victor, who last year was starting all the games and now he hasn't been starting, but he comes in and works his tail off. And he says, I'm here for the team. I mean, these guys are just incredible. And obviously it's a lot easier to do when you're winning games. But again, I think that's what's driving the group is we don't want to feel what it feels like to not win games.
Awesome, thank you. And then with Victor coming on as a sub and instantly making a great impact, does that give you a little bit of a selection headache going forward where you have at every position a player who is starting caliber, who's starting on the field and also on the bench? Yeah,
you know, I think it becomes more, you know, yeah, it is a bit of a headache because we have such great players and great people. But I think if myself and the staff are able to build trust with the players, they'll know that we want the same things that they want, which is putting the team first and making the best decision for the team. And it might be the game, it might be a 3-game week. But what makes me feel really good is, especially in the middle of midfield, we've had Luka Moisa start, we've had a Griffin Gillen start, and now Stein starts, and nothing changes, right? And I think that just speaks to the level of commitment and the level of training that these guys do to where they're ready to come in, and again, they don't want to let their teammates down. That's the peer pressure is the greatest pressure, right? And so I think is if we continue in this vein where everyone is committed, everyone wants the best for the guy next to them, we'll continue to hopefully win games.
Thank you.
Yep.
Marcos.
Pablo, congrats on the win. Obviously, in the first half, we saw the VAR. What did the ref talk to you about in regards to that?
Yeah. To be fair, I didn't know if they were reviewing the push on Sergi or if it was an incident with Gozo. I wasn't really clear, but I think it was the push on Sergi on the breakaway. So that's.
And then so far this season, especially these past 2 games, we've seen Noel improve a lot. Just talk about his improvement so far that you've seen this season.
Yeah, the way I explain Noel is that if you're just watching the game, he's not going to be on any reel. He's not going to be on any highlight reel. He's not going to be on any social media. Like, look at this, because what Noel does is he does all the little things well, right? He passes well, he tackles well, he communicates well, he positions himself well. He's all these things. And I think that's what's been lost in the game oftentimes, because everyone wants to see a bicycle kicker, wants to see something. And great, there's players that can do that, and it's great if they can do that. But the most important thing is it goes back to John Wooden and the fundamentals. And when you do the little things well, you become an elite player. And he continues to improve and continues to impress as he moves forward in his career.
And then 6 games into the season for you guys without a clean sheet. Is that something that worries you, or would you say that's kind of a work in progress?
Yeah, I mean, again, we don't play to have clean sheets. We play to win games. And so if the opponents score 1, we got to score 2, right? And of course, listen, I love defending more than the next guy. I think it's a necessary component to the game. But if I say, listen, guys, we need a shutout, and it means we get less guys going forward, then we're missing the point here. We want to score goals, and obviously we want to keep clean sheets, and I think we were close today. But the most important thing is that we continue to be a threat on offense, and let these guys cook.
Hey, Pablo.
Matty.
What did you make of the team's response when they extended the lead to 2 and then immediately gave up a goal? What did you make of their response until they could get the third and restore the 2-goal lead?
Yeah, listen, I think the players, all of you, myself, we all felt the same way. It was just like, oh no, it's tough. You have to weather the storm for probably the next 10, 15 minutes because, again, now they're full of belief, and we feel like we let ourselves down, right? And I think that's a really important character trait where the guys have to defend. They started sending guys forward. We're now defending the top of our box, and we got to make plays. The other part to that is we've also got to find ways to manage the game. So we get a goal kicks. At times we've got to slow it down. At times we've got to pick up the speed. And I think Hoffa and the guys in the back did a really good job of managing those moments to allow us to get into the game. And then the second goal was fantastic.
And during the week, you said it's not about RSL versus SKC. It's RSL versus RSL. Did you feel that tonight met the standard, or what did you see that you'd like to see cleaned up?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's very difficult, when you don't have games in succession week to week to build momentum. And it was always going to be a difficult game, and I think some of that rust was seen in the final third. But again, I think the fact that the guys got into those spots was really, really good. And I think we attacked better today than we did against maybe San Diego. We defended for the most part. We defended really well, probably a little bit better than San Diego. So again, I think we just want to be the best version of ourselves, and it just takes constant work and commitment to the cause. So I think we're one step better than we were last week, but obviously there's stuff that we need to clean up and improve upon.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
It seems like too much coincidence that Gozo's best game of the season comes with Diego coming back into the starting lineup. Like, is there something about those two? I mean, 2 U.S. internationals. Gozo will get his senior call-up soon enough, I think, where it almost felt like the best in Gozo was brought up just by, and a little bit, some more minutes, additional pressure coming in from Luna.
Yeah, no, I think Luna is got great vision, is able to find the best option in the attack, and that's another reason why we started Luna on the right, understanding that Luna is going to float and roam, and that's what makes him difficult to defend. But during the week they had a really good week together. They made some really good plays midweek, and so I think Diego just has. He's our playmaker in there, and so he finds Morgan, he finds Serge, he finds Gozo, and so he's obviously an important piece. But I think that Luna helps all the other guys, just like Morgan I think helps the other guys, and I think Serge helps the other guys, and I think Gozo helps the other guys as well. So it's like I think it's more about synergy than it necessarily is about one individual player.
Pablo, you've been the coach now here for close to 5 years. You've talked a lot about individual moments in games, and if the pass was just this way or the ball just went 6 inches this way, then you've said that kind of thing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to have a game where we hit the post or the crossbar 3 times and it doesn't matter?
That's it's the best feeling in the world where it doesn't matter. Yeah, because I'm like, man, we could have buried these guys in the first half, and it's not meant to be, and that's why this game is so crazy and so fickle. I don't know if you guys saw the Colorado-Toronto game. I mean, this game is insane in how moments change the psyche of the individual, and then also changes the psyche of the collective. And the most important part, I think, is that we stay true to who we are. We kept playing the same way, and we managed moments well. But yeah, you're right. I feel blessed to be able to say that 3 crossbars and it didn't matter. It's great to say that.
And then we talked about having selection headaches kind of all over the field, but I wanted to ask specifically about kind of Victor and Sergi.
Mm-hmm.
Is that because Victor obviously was the starter, Sergi comes in and he's been playing great.
Mm-hmm.
Is the selection headache there? Would you say it's more of a Victor thing, or is it more of a Sergi thing? And can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, no, I think, and this is what I told Victor. I'll share with what I told Victor, is that Sergi's in a great run of form, right? He's in a great run of form. This is a really long season, and it's about the team. We brought Victor here. I think Victor's a top player, but in this league, to be a great team, I think you have to have players that come into the game and change the game as well. It just can't be for 70 minutes because there's 20 more minutes to play. And so what Victor did when he came into San Diego was exceptional. He scored the goal that gave us the point. And so if we can remove ourselves and think about what's best for the team, and there's no doubt Victor's going to get a great run. And the great things with these guys is they're obviously their careers are the most important things to their lives, but they're also aware that their teammates are doing a really good job. And it goes back to what we're talking about, builders. And when these guys acknowledge that their teammate is doing a great job and they understand where my decision is coming from, it makes me feel whole as well, because they're difficult, because everyone wants to play, and we have probably 19 players that deserve to start every week, but I think the most important thing is that the team keeps winning, because at the end of the season, if we're a winning team, everyone's going to get the rewards from it, whether it's a contract here, whether it's a move to a different place where they want to go and a new contract there. Everyone wins, right? And I think the most important thing, and what I shared with the guys, is I played professionally 16 years, I think, and I won one MLS Cup, right? So the young guys think, if it's not now, it's next year, and it's like, it doesn't work like that. Some players play their whole careers and never win anything, and so I think it's a special team, it's a special moment, and it's special because everyone is putting the team first.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Pablo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Jimmy, Willie, we'll have you guys lead off with Diego. So,
My
sorry.
brother and my nieces and yeah.
You want them to come in here?
Yeah.
They can come in.
What's going on? Hold up.
You got a few seats if you guys want. Thanks. Hey, let's start on Zoom with Jimmy.
Hey, Diego.
What's up?
Congrats on the win. I want to ask you, this season it feels like the team is more dynamic. A lot of goals coming from multiple players, a lot of assists coming from multiple players. Is that something that Pablo changed tactical, or just how the evolution of the group is going?
No, I think it's the type of players we have and the quality we have up front with guys on the bench and the depth that we have with the team. I think, with anyone we put in any position, we have the quality to create chances, whether that's the younger guys, older guys. I think we have a lot of depth this year, and that's something we haven't had before.
I want to ask you, when you knew you were going to start, did you also put in the back of your mind, I have to score tonight or this evening?
No, I never have to score. I think I just got to go in there and perform, and just work my butt off, and then things will come.
Thank you, Diego.
Yeah.
Willie?
Hi, Diego. Congratulations. I'm going to try it with Spanish. I think you are better now. We want to have something in Spanish. Metiste un gol, ¿cómo te sientes después de tiempo de anotar?
Yeah, I feel good. I think after having scored in a while and having played in a good amount of time, I think getting back out there and getting a goal, I feel very good, very grateful and happy, yeah.
So we have so many things to talk about this game, but I would have to have your personal opinion about the national team. Maybe we're not going to have more chances to talk about that. How do you see USA for the next World Cup?
Is there, like, the question is, how do I see USA?
Yeah, the national team.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of quality there, and I think it's about the staff and the players buying into the tactics and stuff, and whoever's going to be brought into that World Cup roster is going to be ready. Because I think in every camp that I've been in last year, the players that are on that field, those 11, are getting pushed every day in training to be ready for that game. So I think the guys are going to do their own when they're at their clubs, at their respective clubs, and then getting called into camp, and whoever's going to be on that roster for the World Cup is going to be ready to perform. And I think that's what it comes down to.
Returning to the game or to the team, how do you see the new players? I talked to the other day with Sergi Solange. He talked so many good things about you and the other ones. Now, how do you see the new arrives?
Yeah, I think you can see it. You guys can see it from the outside that the guys are putting in shifts, and no matter the age or no matter where they came from, college or other teams, they're doing what's needed from the staff and what they're told, but also bringing a bit of flair and their own abilities and creativity, and that's what's given us 3 points and given us a good start to the season. Yeah.
Maddie?
Hey, Diego.
What's going on?
It's been really fun watching everybody on the team play with new teammates every week, and the chemistry not dropping at all. Can you talk to us about how that's developing out on the training field and how it translates, how it feels for you out there?
Yeah, I think a big thing for that is the trust in the teammates. I think the chemistry that we're building off the field and the locker room that we're building is no egos. Nobody's out there, trying to play for themselves, and it's about playing for the team. So creating that bond allows us to, whoever's on the field, have that connection and understanding of we're doing this as a team and the trust in behind each and every player to perform.
And then compared to last year, it feels like a lot of threat has come more from a second press, forcing a mistake and immediately getting goalwards.
Yeah.
Is that something that's more enjoyable for you playing in that type of style?
For sure, yeah. I think whatever style gives me the opportunity to get the ball higher up the field and win the ball closer to goal, I'm down for it. So I think that's been good. And I think like today, you saw we won the ball off the high press a good amount of times, and it's just about finishing those chances.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
DJ?
Yeah.
I'm just curious to go a little further on the high press. People will look at it and say, well, that takes a lot of effort and all that. But is it actually energizing because you're winning the ball so often, and it just seems like every 45 seconds you've got the ball in a dangerous position just all of a sudden?
No, it still is. I think it still is. It's still the work you're putting in, and I think it's just about a different tactic. I think it's, you're going to put in the 10 seconds of super hard work rather than, a bit of shifting and letting the team play. But I think it's still, I guess mentally it's more exciting because you're winning the ball and getting to be on the ball and get closer to goal. But I think it's still, it takes a lot of hard work and work ethic to get those chances.
You're still young, but you're also a veteran at the same time. So I'm wondering if you say anything to Serge when obviously he's had a frustrating first half and can't catch a break when a ball, 2 or 3 inches another direction, he'd have had a couple of goals for sure. Do you say anything to him, or do you just at halftime just leave him up by himself?
I think it's not really frustrating. I think he's got 90 minutes to play, right? And I think, like you see, he gets his goal. And I think that's just about the mentality. And he knows he has the right mentality. He's an amazing dude off the field and on the field. He knows that chances are going to come and he's going to miss some, he's going to score some. But him being in the right position and doing the work ethic defensively is going to give him the most opportunity to get chances on goal.
It's obviously very early and it's a long season, but given how slowly it started last year and some other years, how much more fun is it to win 4 of the first 6 and have this long unbeaten streak?
No, it's super. The vibes are good in the locker room, and I think the energy is good. And like I said, it's with the people you have in the locker room, the vibes and the egos. No egos in the locker room, and guys just working for the team, and look what happens.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Marcos.
Diego, congrats on the win. How exciting was it to get your first start of the season in front of all the fans tonight?
Yeah, super exciting. I think to have my family here too as well is super cool. But it's I've missed it to be able to be in front of the fans and have my name called out in that starting 11. I've missed it.
And then we saw you looking very comfortable drifting inside today. How did you feel about the space you're able to find against the KC back line?
Yeah, it was cool. I think, like I said, being the first start against KC, who kind of doesn't really like to press that much, or there's a lot of gaps in there, I think was cool to see that. And I think leading into the next weeks with more games and stuff, I think it's about finding the consistency and what that game brings to me and gives me in those moments.
And then obviously getting that goal early in the first half, 4 minutes in, do you feel like that gives you the confidence for the rest of the game and then obviously for the rest of the season, just getting that monkey off your back?
Yeah, I think it felt good, and I think one thing that we need to work on as a team is finishing more chances. I think this game could have been 5-6 goals. So I think this week and leading into San Diego is going to be big focus on putting the chances away and knowing when to pass and when to be more selfish with the final third and the attacking guys.
Brant.
Diego, congratulations on the win. Has to be exciting to have such a great start to the season. And this is a game where you kind of got the result that was expected. Are those good feelings when you're on a team that isn't struggling and you're getting the results that you are expecting?
Yeah, but I think we don't look at it like that. I think there's no expected win games for us. I think in this league you could be a bottom team table and beat the top team. And I think for us it's about going into each game with the same mentality of whether that's being an underdog or whether that's being a team that should be able to beat and holding ourselves to that standards. And I think going into each game with the same mentality of, doing 100% of the work and then finishing our chances and yeah.
Well, I guess good teams kind of get these wins.
Yeah.
Is that a good sign for this team moving forward where you're expecting your RSL to kind of put in a shift that more often than not you are going to get these victories?
Yeah, I think winning against any team in the league is a good thing, and I think continuing to do that and getting wins on the weekends is something good, and looking forward to the next couple of weeks where we have tough opponents to play.
Giles.
Diego, just thinking from the human side of things and tying into your shirt there.
Yeah.
Walk us through the emotions that you had coming in for your first start, scoring in the 4th minute in a rivalry game at home.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think just to be back out there in front of the fans was an amazing feeling, and to kind of start off the game like that was really good and get the fans involved. And I think we underestimate how much our fans mean to us, the players, and making this place a fortress. So I think getting the fans involved and making them our 12th man is super special, and I think something we need to continue to build on to make this team a really good winning team at home.
And then after your goal, the stadium obviously starts chanting your name.
Yeah.
How does that feel just as a person? Does that feel validating for you to come back from injury and have so many people just outwardly show their belief in you?
Yeah, it's been a difficult couple months, right? And not being able to play and having a good preseason and then getting hurt. So it was definitely mentally difficult. And, this is God's timing to be able to come back out here and get my first start and first goal like that, and the fans showing me and showing me the support and stuff. So it feels, a lot of relief off my shoulders and stuff to kind of finally be back and feel at home and stuff. Yeah.
And then on this journey for recovery, is there anybody that you feel deserves a special shout out for supporting you through it?
Yeah, I think just all the treatment staff, the medical staff were extremely well with me and pushed me to the limits where it got me back fast enough, but without being without being dumb about it, right? So I think they were very good on strengthening, the muscles around my knee and stuff like that, and pushing me to the point that I needed before getting back out there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Diego, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Congrats on the goal. You didn't seem to hesitate when he took away your right foot.
Yeah.
You just went straight to your left and
Yeah.
hit it. How'd that feel? Is that way more natural now than before?
Yeah, I think in my career I've scored a good amount of goals with both feet, right? I think it's maybe half and half about. So I think that's the cool thing about me, is that I could go left, right, doesn't matter. And I think, with my left knee being the one that was injured, I think it gave me also another feeling of confidence that I was being able to strike a ball from that far out and put it in the corner. So I'm super excited about that.
Sweet. And then it seemed to be a really good connection there in midfield today. You
Yeah.
guys moved the ball around really well. Was there something that you guys were doing above and beyond, or is that just who you are now?
No, I think it was super good. And like I said, it's my first start, right, to play with Morgan and Sergi, Gozo, all these new guys that are coming in. So I think it's my first start in this formation and stuff like that. So still building off that chemistry and the tactics and what's needed from us, playing on the right, playing on the left. I think it's a good start, and I think continuing to build that connection with Morgan, Sergi, Victor, Gozo, Alex, Juanma, anybody, I think that's going to be a super exciting thing. So I'm excited to be back and to build on.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Thanks, Diego.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I heard you only shot with your left. Is that true?
I think so.
Thanks for coming. Okay, we'll have Gozo next. 19 different starters this year. That's what I heard on the radio yesterday.
That's crazy.
I was able to verify that. You can't believe everything you hear on the internet.
Came straight out of the game.
7 to 10. Oh yeah. I wouldn't trust those either.
I literally went down the stairs and just started downing.
Marty Supreme, what a great movie. We gotta get some orange ping pong balls out here. You gotta watch it. It's worth it.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Go ahead, Giles, lead us off.
All right, Gozo, congrats on the win. Going into this game and getting yet another goal that was pretty spectacular for the fans. Walk us through the moments leading up to your goal and what you as a player saw that we may not have seen from the stands.
To be honest, I think we just had momentum in that moment. I think we had them on their heels, and I think obviously when I got the ball, I took a bad touch, to be honest, and just was like, I have to make something out of this, so I just hit it. So that's pretty much it.
And then on this squad, we've seen no chemistry dips no matter who's coming onto the field. From your perspective, how do you manage that with so many people interchanging as a 19-year-old player?
Yeah, I feel like the locker room is so close, and all the guys are so close, and I feel like in training we all play with each other and play well together. So I feel like no matter who's on the field, I know that the chemistry is going to be 100%, and it never fails. So I think it's just a testament to how close we are and the brotherhood that we have.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the win. Zavier, you're one of the nicest guys off the pitch, but watching you in the games on the pitch, you look like you enjoy getting under the skin of your opponents a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Can you talk about the game today and how you guys found success? What's helping to find that success?
Yeah, I think it wasn't our best game as a team. I think there was moments where we were sloppy and that we can get better at, but I think it's just that even when we're not all at our best, I think the team, we just get behind each other, and it's just like there's no belief, there's no doubt that we won't win. So I think it's just a group of brothers just supporting each other, and I feel like that's what pushes us to every win.
And how does this team different from, it looks like it's obvious on the pitch, but what makes this team different from last season?
I would just say everyone's just humble. I feel like everyone's working for each other. Everyone runs for each other. No one is too big for a job. So I think you see that sometimes we're too unselfish. Sometimes we pass shots we need to shoot, and I feel like that's the reason why we have so much success, because everyone's looking for the next teammate and everyone wants success for the team. So.
Congrats on the win. Congrats on the goal today. You've been asked to take more of a defensive responsibility this season as that wing back in that new formation, the 3-5-2 you guys are playing. How has that shift changed your perspective on the game, and where are you finding the most joy in that role?
Yeah, I feel like I'm still finding the most joy going forward, but I feel like I'll never like defending, but if that's what I have to do to help the team, that's what I'll do. And I think, like I said, playing with these guys have helped me change into this position and learn that role so nicely. I feel like I've had no stress because everyone's behind me every training, every practice. Everyone's behind me. Even if I make a mistake, they're there for me. So I think it's been a good transition for me, and I'm finding the most joy scoring goals.
And then today was Diego's first start, as you know. How's the chemistry with him, and what have you learned from him so far on the field and off the field?
Yeah, I think it's always been there. I feel like I've played with Diego for a while now, so I think he's pretty easy to play with. You know, you give him the ball, he gives it back, and he finds you wherever you are. So I think, obviously, I've just learned from him as a player. Playing with him has made me better. He makes the team better. So I think, and off the field, I feel like he's just taught me how to deal with the press and like all the attention that you get when you're playing well and stuff like that, and how to just focus on yourself and your performance.
Hey, Zavier, congratulations on the win. 2 assists and a goal. Have you seen, or was Griffin Dillon waiting to show you in the locker room, Will Johnson's 2008 goal of the year?
I don't know what that is.
Get on it.
Okay, I'll look at it.
Congratulations on the goal of the week. How did it feel to score that goal directly in front of your family? What was the emotion in that moment? I know you scored a ton of goals. But.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. I feel like every goal I score is I'm on top of the world. So I think it never changes that feeling. And to do it in front of my family, to have them sitting in the front row is amazing and so special for me.
And then obviously you guys get the win tonight. How did it feel out there when they kind of gut punched after Sergi's goal? They get one right back. How did it feel on the field? Like last year we saw a lot of these results slip away. This year you guys fought through until you were able to get that 2-goal lead.
Yeah, as I said, it's just the belief in each other that we have, and everyone's working for each other. So I think there's no doubt every time we get scored on that we're gonna get one back, and that shows to the talent we have up front and in the middle and in the back. I feel like every player is so talented on this team. So I think we have no doubt that we're gonna win games.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Zavier, have you seen the replay of your goal yet?
Yeah, I watched it a couple times.
How would you rate it, like 1 to 10?
9.5.
Zavier, congratulations for the win and for your score. You say it wasn't the best game, but where you think the problem or the mistake was?
No, I just think we had a bye week this last weekend. I feel like, it's kind of hard to stay in your groove and stay super sharp. I feel like at times I think we should have scored probably 6 goals on them. So I think that was just where it was lacking. I feel like we were less clinical than we should have been, and we usually are. And I think they were giving us the ball in dangerous situations, so we just needed to capitalize. So I think in that aspect we were a little bit sloppy, but I think in the defensive aspect we were perfect.
In a personal opinion, how do you feel, or how do you consider your personal participation in this game? You think you can do more? You think still learning?
Of course, I think I can learn after every game, and I think today, obviously, I scored a goal, I had an assist, but I think other than that, I didn't play very well. I feel like a lot of my touches were not good, so I think there's so many things I can improve, and there's so many things I can work on my game and to improve the team and to make everyone better.
Thank you.
Thanks.
guys.